So I just wanted to go into this whole coronavirus craze and just, add my little 2 cents briefly. What we have to understand about what's going on in regards to this whole quote unquote pandemic is that it's all prophesied. And this is why I continue to preach this and, you know, give this understanding out because it's all based off of the Most High. It's all based off of the behest of the Most High in regards to him wanting his people to get this out so, they can bring Israel into the fold, hopefully, in regards to the remnant that's supposed to be gathered in these last days. But I just wanted to go into Matthew 24 real quick, just to bring out, certain spiritual aspects to prove my point. So we're going to go to Matthew 24, and we're going to go to verse 9, or start at verse 9. Matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many, or I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And that's what you see with Christianity. And as well as, that false image of so-called Jesus Christ, which is Caesar Borgia. So yeah, that's based in what's prophesied. So continuing on, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, World War III, Civil War, so on and so forth. And that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, countries against other countries, warfare. And there shall be famine, it's going to be scarcity of food, and pestilences. And that's what you see with this whole coronavirus, the pestilence. And there's going to be more pestilences, more quote-unquote pandemics and so on and so forth, and earthquakes in diverse places. But I really wanted to just touch on the term pestilence and, what it means in regards to the etymology from, it being stated in the scriptures. So let's go to Jeremiah 28:8 real quick. Jeremiah 28:8, where it says, The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. So let's go to what that means, pestilence. So from the lexicon of Strong's H1698 goes back to the Hebrew word deber. So we go to the outline. Pestilence, plague, murrain, cattle disease, cattle plague. So what is cattle? Cattle are animals. That's what cattle is. Cattle are animals. So it's giving you the understanding that the pestilence is in regards to certain viruses that's based in animals. And we know that the coronavirus, or if you didn't know, the coronavirus is in bats. And what people have to understand is that, the Chinese, as far as like their culture, they're known to be disgusting people. Not to be disrespectful or crass or anything like that. It's just the truth. They're known to be disgusting people in regards to what they eat. They like to eat dogs, cat, rat, and, bats and all kinds of crazy shit that's just obscene. So we understand that these things come from them. And what you have to understand as well is that just like any other virus, it's all man-made, it's all concocted. Like the AIDS virus, that was a man-made virus that was created in a laboratory by a man named Robert Gallo. He used cat and animal strands and DNA and RNA to concoct that virus. And it's just like the coronavirus. And what you have to understand is that the Chinese, their respiratory system, they have a chemical in their respiratory system which basically produces twice as much as any other nation. So they're more susceptible to the coronavirus because that's what the coronavirus is attacking. And the coronavirus is no different than any other, flu-like symptom like a runny nose or a cough. It's just that the difference between the coronavirus and any other like flu or virus or what have you is the crown that's around the strand in regards to the cell. And the term corona means crown. The term corona goes back to the Latin word crown. So that's why it's known as the coronavirus, COVID-19, came from, I believe it was just known as novel corona or NCO-19 or something like that, and then they changed it to COVID-19. And you see now that this was all planned for it to hit the United States in the year 2020. Like, we wasn't hearing anything about this corona shit in 19 at all. So when the 2020 hit, we hear this because it was planned for it to happen around this time, especially during tax time where, you have this whole advent of people wanting to just rack up on certain foods and water and so on and so forth because they're going to be locked in the house. Because that's based in what's planned as far as what the power structure wants. It's all soft martial law. And they're trying to conceal what's to come in regards to the real martial law. You feel what I'm saying? The real restriction of, gun ownership and so on and so forth. And they're using this little coronavirus as a cover-up. Now, I hear different stories about how it's based in a pedophile ring that the celebrities are engaged in regards to the trafficking with little kids. But that's something that's been going on for years. And even though we know that that's been concealed for years, I don't think that the coronavirus is a cover-up for that. I really, just based off of what I understand on a three-dimensional level, it's easier to make that that supposition in regards to knowing that it's all based in martial law. It's all based in what's planned, because they want people to be more in a stasis or in a state of dependent on the government. You feel what I'm saying? Based on the fact that people don't really do any research or inform themselves properly. You feel what I'm saying? People just base shit off of regurgitation or not knowing how to necessarily, look at the meat and the bones, or for lack of a better term, discern how to separate the meat from the bones. You know what I mean? So we have to do a better job of understanding like what's really out here and what they really doing. Because you should not trust these people. You shouldn't trust this government or the power structure or this society. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you had Ebola, you had Zika, you had SARS, you had all these different viruses. Like, where the fuck do these names come from? This is how you know that it's all man-made. And you go online and you search it up, they'll tell you that it's not, because they want to continue to perpetuate that bullshit. They want to deceive people, man. This coronavirus is not as big as they making it out to be. Like, Kevin Durant just caught the virus. He said he was fine. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's no different than you just catching a regular flu or you just getting sick, having a fever or something like that. It's curable. It's not like it's incurable. It's curable. You know what I mean? You could see in certain chemicals like Lysol or what have you, where it tells you it prevents susceptibility from coronavirus just by spraying it. So it's just certain mechanism that the power structure use to scare people. It's all about fear mongering. At the end of the day, if you have faith in the Most High, then that should protect you. But these people, they don't have no fucking faith. If they really did have faith, they wouldn't be wearing these damn surgical masks and all that. Like, at the end of the day, you still could catch the fucking disease. I seen people shopping with the mask on, but still touching shit when you ain't got no gloves on. And even if you had gloves on, you still could contract the disease. It can go through your mask. You're not protected from anything, man. At the end of the day, as long as you have the faith, then that's the ultimate protection, man. But people, they don't have that belief. They don't believe in the intangible. They believe in the tangible. They believe in this system, this society. And it's all meant to fucking sway you in the wrong direction, man. Seriously, that's what it's about. But yeah, man, like, what we have to understand is that so-called black people, they're more or less likely to receive this disease because of the fact that we have melanin. Carbon fights off a lot of pestilence and diseases. That's why the Most High blessed us with that. As well as the understanding that not only, but old people are more so affected by this disease, because going back to what I was talking about with the Chinese and how their respiratory system produces a chemical that's more likely for them to be susceptible to the coronavirus based off of what they consume. People don't get that until later on in life, in regards to like them hitting their 40s, their mid 40s, you know what I mean, or their late 50s. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's all based in the fact that it only affects old people and people whose respiratory system is more likely to produce those symptoms. You feel what I'm saying? So it's only applicable to older people in Chinese. It's not necessarily applicable, to people who are young or adults who basically take care of themselves in regards to like their health and what have you. So this is just all fear mongering. It's all soft martial law. It's all based in preparation for what's to come. So I just wanted to get a little article in regards to, you know, martial law and the basically them refuting that this has anything to do with martial law, but we know it does if we have a spiritual understanding. So it says here from the Military Times, while the number of cases of the novel, what the hell, pop up? While the number of cases of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 continues to grow around the country and the globe, lawmakers are considering how best to cut down on the spread of the disease. But the measures being taken have some citizens and service members wondering if martial law may be declared. As of Tuesday, more than 1,500 Guard personnel in 22 states were called up to aid efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19 as the World Health Organization declared the coronavirus a pandemic on March 11th, with President Donald Trump following 2 days later to classify the virus as a national emergency. This is all to induce fear mongering. That's what all that was. A real pandemic, you ain't gonna see people outside walking just idly by with their mask on, like, okay, I'm safe, I'm good, I ain't gonna get no corona. Like, bro, this is not no fucking pandemic, man. This is not no pandemic. You gonna see a pandemic soon. This ain't no pandemic. California Governor Gavin Newsom in the Sunday Press has said that martial law was not necessary to combat coronavirus in his state. If you want to establish a framework of martial law, which is ultimate authority and enforcement, we have the capacity to do that. But we are not feeling that at this moment. That is a necessity, Newsom said. On Monday, Florida Senator Marco Rubio tweeted, albeit with the spelling error, requesting everyone stop sharing misinformation about the use of martial law to maintain stability in the ongoing crisis. He wrote, please stop spreading stupid rumors about martial law. Completely false. We will continue to see closing and restrictions on hours of non-essential businesses in certain cities and states, but that is not martial law. Yeah, but that's giving you the understanding that it's a precursor to martial law. Because if you got people that's basically quarantining, quote unquote, what does that tell you? What that's reminiscent of, or what that should remind you of? Martial law, concentration camps. We already seeing the signs of it. The Most High already told us what we shall see in these days. So people that's all incredulous to all the news, because they're not in the know. But the people that's in the know in regards to the spirit, we just going to understand that this has to come to pass, and we just going to assimilate and do the best we could to live by the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, and that's what it all boils down to. We shouldn't be scared of what's going on. All we got to do is be prepared. We have to be proactive instead of reactive. We got to stop depending on the media and the power structure for answers, man. The answers is in the scriptures. And I'm only talking to my people because the book is only of our people. So that's all I just wanted to provide. I'll be, adding more to this, but I just wanted to get that little quick, brief, conveyance out there. So God bless you all, and thank you, and bear with me.